Hi guys, it's Kasera, and today I'm going to be doing my December week 3 reading vlog. I'm starting this reading vlog a little late because it's already Tuesday, December 17th, but I haven't been doing a whole lot of reading. First of all, I did finish a book last night. So last night I finished Eldest by Paolini. This is a reread for me. Most of the books I'm doing this month are rereads. So I'm halfway through the Inheritance cycle right now. I am loving this series way more than I was expecting to. Like, I expected it to be like a nostalgic read and I just kind of liked it. But oh my gosh, these books are so good. Like, I'm comparing them to most of the YA books that I read now that are fantasy books, and like, there is no comparison. Like, the writing is so good compared to most of the YA books now. I love the writing in it. I love the world building in this series. I love characters. I love all of like the different plot machinations. Like, it's so well done. I really love this series way more than I was expecting to, because I remember being disenfranchised with this series when I finished it like a decade ago, and like now it's like, it's really good. Like, it's very good. I am hooked on it right now. Like, I can't stop reading it, and that makes me really happy because I'm really enjoying it. I finished Eldest last night, which is the second book of the series, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. This one's definitely a lot slower than the first book in the series, Erikson, but I really loved how in-depth the world building is in this. And even though like I knew the twist at the end, like I knew it, but just the way that it's written, I can appreciate it in a way that I couldn't when I was in high school. So I really enjoyed that as well. So of course, when I finished Eldest, I started Brisingr because I remember this one being my favorite in the entire series, and I'm really excited to continue on with it. I'm at the very beginning now. I'm listening to the audiobooks for these, by the way, because I don't have time for physical books. Like, I've been trying to find time for physical books, but this month, especially this week of the year, like, it's like the busiest week of the year for my work. So like, I haven't been getting any time for physical reading. So yeah, audio reading only is what this month seems to be. But I'm really enjoying Brisingr, and definitely excited to continue on with the series. Like, this may be a new one that I have to reread more often, just because like I haven't reread this series since high school, and wow, it's like actually really good. I'm loving it way more than I was expecting to. And the third book is my favorite. I haven't gotten very far into it yet though, so we'll see how I feel as the further I get into it. But I remember this one being my favorite in the series, so I'm definitely excited for it. So now I'm going to talk about the other books that I'm currently reading. The other reread that I'm doing right now is Mistborn by Sanderson. This is the first book, The Final Empire. I've been doing these physically, which, like I said, I don't have as much time to physically reread books. I'm like right there. Since the last time I mentioned Mistborn on my vlogs, in my last vlog, I haven't read anything since then. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I just don't have the time right now. I'm really considering, when I finish the Inheritance cycle, to just get the Audible audiobooks for Mistborn, just because I want to read it. Like, I really do. I haven't been able to pick it up. So, which makes me really sad. And I really want to continue on with this one. But it's in a good part right now, and I'm excited for like what's going to be happening next. Okay, and then I have two books that are rollovers from November that are not rereads that unfortunately I'm also reading physically, so I haven't gotten around to actually reading them in the last 2 weeks, but I'll mention them because I will be trying to get some more reading done this week. I don't know if I'll have time just because it's the busiest week of the year for work, but I will be trying to. The first one is Deadhouse by Erikson. This is the second book in the Lies and Book of the Fallen series, and not far into it at all. Oh, where did my bookmark go? I lost my bookmark. Oh, not far into it at all, but definitely enjoying this more than the first book, and I'm excited to see where this one is going because I've heard it's really good. And the second one is Words of Radiance by Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archives. Also not far into this one, but I am really enjoying this one. This one's kind of weird to read at the same time as Mistborn, just because they're the same author, so they have similar writing styles and stuff like that. So I had planned to finish Mistborn before I continued on with this one, but like, I'm not getting any progress done in Mistborn, so we'll see how that goes. I should finish the Inheritance cycle soon, and then I'll have more time for other stuff, I think. hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, if you missed my last week's vlog, I will link that up in the cards for you guys. That's all I have for you guys right now, and I will check in with you guys later. It is Thursday, December 19th, and I just finished Brisingr by Christopher Paolini. I didn't enjoy this one as much as I was expecting to. I think I just had like really, really high hopes for this one just because I enjoyed the first two so much more than I was expecting to, and I remember this one being my favorite of the series. I think this is still my favorite of the series just because like the first book was like really fast paced, but I felt like it was a little disjointed, and then the second book was not disjointed at all. It actually like flowed really well, but it was paced really slowly. I felt like this one got like the best of both worlds, and there were all the revelations in this one that I just loved. I loved all the revelations, and it had some really great action scenes as well. It didn't quite live up to like the super high expectations that I had for it in my head. It still was really good, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I ended up giving this one 5 stars. Like, this series, characters are amazing. I love how hard the author is on the characters at times, and I love this world and just like the politics in the series and everything. Absolutely loved it. Really, really excited to finish my reread of this series. So of course, since I finished Brisingr, I decided to start Inheritance. Now, I have lower expectations for Inheritance than I do Brisingr, just because I remember being somewhat disenfranchised with the series because of Inheritance, which is the last book in the series. Like, when I look on Goodreads right now, my rating for it on Goodreads is 2 stars, and I don't fully understand why my rating for it is that low, because as of right now, I'm not very far into it. I'm really enjoying it. I don't remember how it ends though. I only read Inheritance once. When I was in high school, I would reread Erikson and Eldest and Brisingr over and over again in anticipation for Inheritance coming out, but I only ever read Inheritance once, so this is my first time rereading it, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Like, I'm enjoying it way more than I was expecting to. I think I had lower expectations for Inheritance than I did the other books in the series as well, but like, I'm loving it as much as I did the previous books in this series. So I don't know. Maybe the ending is just gonna really let me down or whatever. I don't know. But as of right now, it's still really good. And I'm definitely excited to see where it's going because I don't remember how it ends. So it's Friday, December 20th. And last night, I finally got to do some physical reading. So I finally got to get back to Mistborn. I'm really enjoying it. Every time I pick up Mistborn, I enjoy it. I just never get around to actually picking it up. I'm thinking, like I said, I think earlier this week or maybe last week, thinking about getting the audiobooks just because I don't have time for physical reading this month. Like, it's not happening. Definitely want to get more of this read today. Tonight, probably I can get more of this read. I don't have time during the day to do it, but hopefully tonight I can get more of it read. I only read a chapter, like it wasn't even that much. I felt gratified that I finally got back into the book. So I'm pretty happy with where I am in the book, but at the same time, like, I had planned to read the Mistborn trilogy the first week of this month, and it's week 3, and I'm only halfway through the first book, not even halfway through the first book. So yeah, I'm excited for like the next part of the book, because the next part of the book is, I think, like my favorite part of the series. Like, and I'm so excited back in this world, like really excited for it. So yeah, I have made a lot of progress for Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. I'm about halfway through it now, and I have to return the audiobook tomorrow, so I really want to finish it before the end of day tomorrow. But oh my gosh, this is so much better than I was expecting it to be. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I didn't expect to like the 4th book. I don't know why I didn't like it in the first place. Like, the first time I read this book, I didn't like this book, but it's good. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm liking it more than I did the first 3 books, which is weird. Maybe it's because, like, I don't remember this book as well as those first 3 books, so a lot of it feels new to me, even though, like, when I'm reading it, suddenly remembering back, oh, I remember this from back then, but I don't remember what's in this book before I get to that scene, if you know what I mean. So far, I'm enjoying this. I have a feeling the ending is not good, though, because there's no way I could have given this book 2 stars 10 years ago if the ending is good for this book. Like, I have a feeling, but I'm not bored at all. Like, maybe just because I'm older and, like, I really love adult fantasy now, I can appreciate this book more than I did the other books, because the other books have way more of a YA feel to it, while this one starts almost to get into that adult fantasy realm, just in that it's a little bit slower, but it still has a lot of the action and stuff that you would expect from a fantasy book. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I don't know why I didn't like it. Let's put it that way. Anyways, I'm halfway done with this one and definitely excited to see where it's going because I still don't remember how it ends. Like, I still don't. So yeah, really enjoying this. So it's Saturday, December 21st, and I just finished Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Like, it was so good. I understand why I didn't enjoy it the first time around, because it kind of does that thing that Lord of the Rings does at the end, where like it finishes and then there's like a whole book's worth of material after the book is finished, basically. The ending just like worked really well for me in a way that I wasn't expecting. I really, really enjoyed it. And I really want to pick up that series of short stories that recently came out that Christopher Paolini like recently published. I think it was this year. I'm really considering borrowing it from my library right now. Even though I'm supposed to be doing rereads this week, like I want more of this world right now. Like it was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. I ended up giving this one 4.5 stars because I understand why I didn't like it the first time around. Not just the ending, but there's less revelations in the last book than I would have expected considering all the revelations that were in the third book in the series, Brisingr. So I still think the third book in the series, Brisingr, is the best book in the series. But I did really enjoy Inheritance this time around, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Okay, so it's Saturday evening, and I did decide to pick up The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm by Christopher Paolini, which is the series of short stories that he recently released that are in the same world as the Inheritance cycle. I have to say, I did really enjoy it. It takes place a year after the Inheritance cycle, and it's kind of following what's going on with Erikson then, but it reminds me a little bit sort of The Name of the Wind in the aspect that there are stories that are being told to him or he's seeing for whatever reason. One has to do with the fork, one has to do with the witch, and one has to do with the worm. From the title, you could probably figure that out. I did like the stories. Some of like the more interesting characters were in the stories, which I enjoyed. And then there was one that was about Urgles, which was not as enjoyable for me. But there were other characters that I really, really wanted to like hear from or something, and they just were completely not in it. So I enjoyed it, but I wanted more from it. You know what I mean? Which is weird because I didn't expect very much out of these short stories at all, but I'm interested to see if there's gonna be more because in the title it says Volume 1, Erikson. So I'm guessing there's gonna be a Volume 2 with maybe one of the other characters, which would make me really happy. So I hope that happens, but I did enjoy it and I ended up giving it 3.75 stars. Since it's Saturday night, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be finishing anything else this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off on this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books because I would love to discuss with you guys. I post videos frequently on this channel, so consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel. All social media links are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.